Hey, listen, you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Good reporting ass Mickey.
We love you, Mickey.
Mickey talks the truth. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to pull up on your girl, Mickey Truth. We is live with it. Good morning, everybody. I know y'all missed me yesterday. I had a migraine with a vengeance yesterday. I could not even open my eyes. So my apologies. Like, I wasn't on social media. I didn't even touch my phone yesterday, okay? But I am back with it today. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and get into the disclaimers and disclosures. Y'all already know all information contained on this live is for entertainment, heavy on a mother effing entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used on this live is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you and your mama, not nobody on this channel, this panel, or in this chat. And another disclaimer for those who have not read the description to my channel, I am not a lawyer. Nothing I say should be used as legal advice because it's not legal advice, okay? If you do need legal advice, however, you can go talk to an actual licensed lawyer or attorney of your choosing, all right? And like the disclaimer says in the video, that you can actually see the consequences of anything that you try to run with from the channel is definitely on you, all right? So with that being said, hey, just sit back, enjoy my opinion based off my free thoughts of what I'm listening to. And y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. Let's get started.
You can't handle the truth.
And there you have it. All right, y'all. So I got to play catch up from yesterday. I don't know. I think I was scrolling through this morning, and I think one of the witnesses that got shot at one of the drive-bys testified yesterday. Haven't had a chance to really listen to it yet. So I'm going to have to get into that today. I'm not sure if that witness finished. But yeah, so I'm playing catch up from yesterday. I was supposed to get on a little bit earlier, but my head is still hurting a little bit. And I didn't want to get, like, I wasn't sure if I was going to go live. So I just went with it because I was supposed to start early so I can kind of catch up from yesterday. But nevertheless, yeah, we're going to get into the YSL Rico trial. Where's the Rico? Y'all seen Rico yet? Because I ain't seen Rico. Maybe it came yesterday. I'm not sure. Oh, side note, for those who are wanting to attend Rich Homie Quan's funeral, it has been announced that it will be Tuesday, September 17th. The tickets are free. You have to register online. They will have a public viewing, and then you are seated, and then you'll be able to attend the actual funeral services. So for those who are in the Atlanta area or that's willing to travel to Atlanta for the funeral, I post a link. Basically, you just go to richhomiequan.com and you just sign up, say how many you can get, up to 2 tickets. They have 3 different viewing times, 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the funeral will start at 10 a.m. So once you get there, you can't leave out. So make sure you read the fine print on the tickets, because I hate for somebody to travel down there and think you just go do the view and leave, come back. No, once you're in there, you have to stay in there. It's no reamending at all. Okay? So that's the link. Like I said, richhomiequan.com. Register for your tickets. They are free. Okay? And I will say, hey, as soon as you know that you are wanting to go, to make sure you get your tickets, because I'm not sure on how many tickets they have available. You already know your girl got her tickets. I did that right before I came on live. So yeah, Tuesday, September 17th will be the day that Rich Homie Quan is laid to rest. Well, funeral, because I'm not sure if he's going to be actually, what's going to happen after that. But the funeral is Tuesday. All right, so I believe court starts at 9 a.m. Couple things. Y'all know I got a favorite Chiracian. Y'all know Cairo, No Limit Cairo is my favorite Chiracian. And it has been put out today that the feds end up picking up his case. I will say this, okay? If they went and got Cairo, they better go get butter. That's for sure. And hell yeah, I said it. Okay, they better go get his ass too, because at this point, I was doing something, trying to talk shit and do something at the same time, but yep, they got him in there. But no, they don't got him in there. Huh, that's interesting. Because on here, they said he was released on yesterday. So, I don't know. They had him, and now they don't got him? I don't know. I just saw it today. Like I told y'all, my head was hurting so bad yesterday. I couldn't do shit yesterday. Couldn't look at nothing. I barely wanted to open my eyes. So I know he went to court yesterday. I wonder what took place. I'm gonna have to check that out. Hot Boy, the rapper out of Florida, was released either yesterday or the day before. I'm gonna look into that too, because I know I thought he was going to trial, but maybe he took a plea or they dismissed the case. I gotta check it out. Like I said, I haven't done anything at all. I'm still trying to look up this Cairo thing, so hold on, y'all. Like I said, I think court starts at 9 a.m., so we probably got a few minutes. Well, they say he's still locked up, so I don't know. I don't know why that says that. I don't know, y'all. I was trying to they say he's still locked up though. I don't know why the website says that. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, the feds done picked them up. So and for those who just joined in, make sure y'all hit the like button. I'm talking about No Limit Cairo. So I'll look into that. And like I said, I'm gonna look into Hot Boy because I'm kind of interested in knowing what happened with the case. Y'all know I had some content to do on him last year. I just never did it because he wasn't in the algorithm, but he's in the algorithm now. So I might do some. I don't know. So yeah, I'm playing catch up. Cause like I said, yesterday I did nothing. Nothing at all. We're just waiting for the trial to start today. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I forgot my water is running. Hold on. My nose is just one of
We
those.
not have our jury back yet. So I guess it'll be Monday before we continue with witness testimony. However,
What happened to the jury?
I'm hopeful that we can get through some further evidentiary issues today. And I know we can at least finish going through the last 12 pages or so of the exhibit and witness list. And beyond that, I don't know whether anybody's ready with any of the other issues that we were going to get to at some point or not. So y'all just kind of have to let me know. Oh, sorry, y'all. When they tell me we're ready, and that everybody's here, I guess I should stop and actually look. Okay, well. Didn't know you weren't here. Came in because they said everybody's ready. All right, so if y'all can give me an assessment of what we're ready to discuss, and if you think it's going to carry us through the full day or not.
Good morning, Your Honor. Simone
Morning.
Hilton for the state. Given the instructions that we received on Wednesday, we're working through reducing the wiretap. We're working through the research on the case law that's due on Monday.
Okay.
But we are ready to go through the exhibits for the remaining
Okay.
witnesses from 61 all the way to the end. I believe
Okay.
that Dropbox was served approximately 2 weeks ago. I'll pull up the exact date in which it was served. And so we're ready to move forward. I don't know if that will carry us through the entirety of the day, but it is about 40 something witnesses
Okay.
that we could go.
All right. And on the defense side, anybody have anything in particular that you're thinking today would be a good day to discuss?
You know, myself and Attorney Steele talked about this last night, and the only thing that we were thinking about was the wiretap, but it sounds like we're gonna wait for the state to try to pare it down before we tackle that. So I think that's all we have.
Okay.
Honorable court is open. I know I challenged the jail call of Mr. And by the way, good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Arnold on January 10th, 2015. And there's some, I believe, on the next day that the state may seek to admit. And a lot of it is, in my opinion, irrelevant. I don't know if we're going to listen to those calls for this honorable court to pare down, or if the state and I should get together, but there's a lot of talk about food and girls and things like that. In addition, and I'm not saying, you were interested, and I didn't say anything about Miss Morton being supposedly at the Texaco on the recording, and you said, oh, that may be enough for a conspiracy. I don't believe it is. I'd like to talk about that, but if you admit that, does your honorable court understand OCGA 24-1-106? So if that recording comes in, well, then I'm asking for guidance. So if that recording comes in, and if Miss Morton is not a witness, the state spoke with her, they put it before a grand jury, and they had a court reporter, and they did audio recordings with her at her probation officer's office. And under the rule of completeness, it is, on that recording, it may be something that the state thinks is interesting to the jury, but it would be totally misleading if they're saying Mr. Williams is at that McDonald's. So my point is, another recording, another transcript, sworn testimony for this uncalled witness, I would seek to introduce through cross-examination of Mr. Sprinkle. He was at both of those places, and I believe that I would be able to get it in under 24-1-106. So I say that just because that's another issue if you want to do that.
Okay, so the other recording is an entirely different time?
Date, time, location, absolutely. And there's two, like I said, one's grand jury sworn testimony and one's probation
Okay.
officer.
So my understanding of 106 is that it's if a part of one recording comes in, then in fairness, if the other party seeks to introduce the redacted or unintroduced part of the same recording in order for it to give a complete picture, that can occur. But I don't know that that means an entirely separate recording from an entirely separate date with entirely separate people communicating. So if you have law that indicates that, then I'll consider that.
So it's OCGA 24-1-106, I'm quoting. When a writing or recorded statement or part thereof is introduced by a party, an adverse party may require the introduction at that time of any other part or any other writing recorded statement, which in fairness should be considered contemporaneously.
All right.
So if I'm reading that wrong, I apologize,
If
but
those are the words, then you might have a good argument.
okay. I just want to bring that up since you're
Okay.
asking for issues.
All right. And is the state, I haven't heard the contents of that phone call yet anyway.
You're right. I think that we can discuss with Mr. Steele the parts that he's discussing. I believe that we can come to an agreement on what is not, the parts that are not relevant in that phone call. And if we can't come to an agreement, we can bring it to the court. But I think it's something that we can.
Okay, well, I don't know that his objection is simply relevance. I think he has a relevance objection to parts of it, but he's saying other parts of it, if there is something potentially misleading and there are other recordings that establish, that, it actually mean what it sounds like it means, then he would seek to introduce those other things that would clarify that.
Yeah, so my understanding, if it's the call that I am thinking of, and if it's the call that was discussed yesterday, and I would need to listen to it again, I believe there's an inference as to Mr. Kendrick. I believe that in that call, and if it's the same call, and I'll need to just confirm that Mr. Bradford or Mr. Arnold calls Mr. Bradford while he's in custody. And at a portion, Mr. Bradford is with Bushi. Mr. Arnold asked Mr. Bradford, where is Yak? And Mr. Arnold responds, we're waiting for him. Mr. Arnold, or excuse me, Mr. Bradford or Bushi, Ms. Morton, says we're waiting for him. And they were talking about Yak Gotti. So I don't know. I will need to listen again and see if there's any other reference to Mr. Williams, and I will listen again to make sure. But my understanding is, and if this is the call that that was discussed yesterday,
Yeah.
then I need to listen again and see if there's a reference to Mr. Williams and being at the McDonald's, because my understanding is of the call is a little different, which is the only
Okay,
reference
well,
is Mr.
Then y'all just
Kendrick.
take another listen to it and get together on that. All right, and y'all can present if you resolve, great. If not, we'll present whatever the issue is after y'all both had an opportunity to listen to that. And if necessary, whatever part of the grand jury recording might then be relevant.
And excuse me, Your Honor, and I apologize, since I wasn't here yesterday. Are we still litigating whether that call comes in?
Yes, we haven't made any kind of determination about that.
Okay.
In fact, Mr. Howell, I think, asked that we hold off until you were present. So we just sort of, mapped out broadly what the issues might be, but we haven't listened to the call or made any kind of determinations about it.
Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
it sounds like we'll hold off on that for a little while anyway, and it may or may not end up being necessary to litigate anything about it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so do we think I guess the Dropbox with the evidence is on witnesses 31 through 60 is that going to track sort of this witness chart that we were going through yesterday?
It should be, Your Honor. I thought, if my memory served me correctly, that we finished up to 60. We had completed
I thought
60.
we had two.
We did. We completed 60 and we were at the final group. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, all right. So we were kind of using this chart yesterday. So to determine, okay, are there things that we need to litigate? So if we're
Yes,
going
Your
to
Honor.
just continue along with that, and then if there are things we need to litigate, then we'll jump to that Dropbox link and pull up that evidence. Is
Yes.
that the suggestion?
Yes, Your Honor. And I'm searching to see the date that we sent the Dropbox link so everyone can find it. Yeah, I think it might be August 27th, but I just want to. Yes, it's going to be on August 20th. Oh yeah, it should be August 26th, and we sent it around 11:42 p.m. And if it's not, let me make sure. Okay, I don't think that's the right one. Your Honor.
Avenger videos is what the reline is? Is that what you said?
Of course it does.
Oh, yeah, she was saying she didn't think it was the right one either. This thing is to just resend it.
created. I can't find the email, but I'm just gonna resend the link right now.
Uh, yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay. I just sent it, so it should be coming soon. Yes, yes.
Ms. Hilton, it looks like it needs a password and that wasn't in what you sent me just now.
Okay, hold on.
I don't think it's in what you sent anybody. Because Ms. Persfield just forwarded what you sent. So I think we'll all need that as well.
All right, hold on, my Dropbox link savviness isn't. Okay, I'm going to resend it. I found the email. The email was sent on the 30th. I believe the link will be in this email that I'm about to
Okay.
forward to everyone.
And the password.
And the password.
Okay. All right, everybody's got to get a different email that'll have the password also.
I just forwarded you.
Okay, this starts with Adrian Ansart.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is everybody in there now? Does everybody have the Dropbox link up? Okay. All right, so number 52 is Miss Ann Sard. She's going to be the records custodian for the Instagram records for a couple of the co-defendants. Any issues we need to litigate with her?
And you're right, I'll say 52 and 53, we already litigated, and the reason why it's in this folder is to be consistent with this document. So we looked at Sergeant Matthew John Pierre's folder
Okay, great.
as well as Ansar's
All
folder.
right. So moving on to 54. Anything?
So we're just getting caught up.
No, because 52 and 53 are already folders that we've already gone through last week. So Sergeant Matthew John Pierre, these are the same videos we talked about, I think, earlier this week as well, where we went through the timestamps of the video. So we already talked through this folder. It's a duplicate folder. So we really should be on 54.
All right, so if everybody will open folder 54 for Officer Rogers and tell me whether there are any issues in the evidence contained within that folder.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I ask the purpose of the medical records? I think there are pages 1 through 108, I believe, or maybe 5 through 108.
Yeah, we might not get into the medical records. We probably won't get into the medical records, but because they are Officer Rogers records, we included them in the folder. We believe his testimony will be sufficient. We don't intend on calling a doctor. However, we just included it within the folder because it related to Officer Rogers.
Okay, so those, you probably wouldn't tender those anyway, and if you did, they most likely would not go out to the jury.
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
Probably wouldn't be displayed. Okay, is that sufficient?
Okay, and looks like there's probably about 3 hours of body cam. My understanding of the body cam is at least a portion of it contains the actual altercation between Officer Rogers and Mr. Eppinger, which I understand, but is there any other purpose of the body cam that they would be seeking to introduce in this case, or the state would be introducing in this case?
So the portion of the various body cams that the state intends to introduce, one, yes, the interaction between Officer Rogers and Mr. Eppinger, then portion of the interaction between Sergeant Johnson and Mr. Eppinger, and then a portion of the apprehension of Mr. Eppinger. But that probably in total is less than an hour. I would think if it totals 30 minutes, but it's probably only about an hour total of all the different body cams in this case.
At some point, can we just get the times that you're seeking to introduce?
Do you have those now?
I don't have them now, but it's quickly for me to get them. If not by the end of the day, I can definitely get it to them by early next week. The various timestamps and the various body cam videos.
Okay. All right, so you'll get them the timestamps so that they'll know if they feel like that's the reasonable and relevant portions or something more than that. All right. And then I guess the same with whatever the other medical record is.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And if we're moving on to the next folder, Sergeant Erin Brown, she is only bringing in Officer Rogers' body cam as a custodian of records, given the trauma of the incident. Officer Rogers, we're not going to bring the video in through Officer Rogers, but through Sergeant Brown. So that's what her folder would entail, which would be the body cam video.
All right, so on to Sergeant Johnson then. What all is this?
So that is the overall surveillance video of the entirety of the interaction with Mr. Eppinger and both Officer Rogers and Sergeant Johnson that's not captured on body cam video.
All right, and so we'd only be watching whatever parts we wouldn't have otherwise seen.
Yes, Your Honor, and we'll get those timestamps as well.
All right, McKessie, is that how you say that person's name? McKessie.
And he falls into the same category with the body cam. He's that last portion that I referenced, and so we'll get the relevant timestamps.
I'm confused. What's he doing that?
So he was a part of the apprehension team. So once Officer Rogers was shot, he was taken to the hospital by other officers.
Yeah.
And so later when they went to get Mr. Eppinger, McKessie's involved in that portion of the video.
So under the Rogers folder, the part that you said was the apprehension of Eppinger, that's not actually, whose body cam is that, or what is that? Or is it the same thing, just under two separate witnesses? I mean, you had mentioned with the Rogers file, the interaction with Eppinger, Johnson's interaction with Eppinger, and then the apprehension of Eppinger. So is that actually going to be coming in through McKessie, the apprehension part?
The apprehension part is coming through McKessie, but what we've done is all of the body cams are in one evidence.com folder. And so we...
All right, so, but that's the same thing in two different places.
folders.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you'll get us those timestamps. All right, then we move to Captain Wofford. And what's this about?
So Captain Wofford, yes, okay. That is the surveillance video for the stabbing of Mr. Rayshawn Bennett. And it shows the entirety of that interaction between Mr. Myrick and Mr. Bennett.
When you say surveillance, I'm seeing, correct me if I'm wrong, Captain Wofford is the gentleman who came in. Captain Wofford is a gentleman who came into the pod after the altercation and was wearing the body cam.
Yes, but he's also able to serve as the custodian of the Pelco system, which is the jail surveillance system.
Okay, but the in this folder, the Axon stuff, that's Captain Wofford's.
Yes.
Okay, and so we'll make sure that you will make sure that this is not cumulative.
Yes, Your Honor, because the body cam video is only once the stabbing occurred. The
Okay.
surveillance shows everything leading up to the stabbing.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
Mm-hmm.
my other concern now, I'm going off of my prior review of this,
Mhm.
my recollection and belief is that Mr. Bennett on these body cams doesn't say a whole lot, but at this point, my understanding certainly is Mr. Bennett is not testifying in this case. So I just think we have to, and I'm going to ask the state to make sure that anything that they seek to introduce to these body cams does not contain testimonial statements concerning the events that had occurred.
Yes, I think what's on the video, we would argue be excited utterances because it's a lot of once he was stabbed. I don't believe he made any statements to the police regarding who did it. And so our intentions would not be to introduce anything like that. It'll be primarily once he's apprehended, more of the excited utterances and present sense impression of Mr. Bennett at that time.
All right, well, so I guess you need to make sure of that.
Right. I don't.
And it may be that you think it's one thing and they think it's another. So we might need a little more specificity about what's coming in.
I don't
discuss it.
recall him saying too much, but he was definitely being spoken to and asked questions by law enforcement about what happened. So anything he said from our stance would be testimonial. But I don't recall at this time him making any statements. But
Your Honor, we can look at it and talk about it, and see if we can come to an agreement. And if not, we can bring it to the court's attention. But I think it's something that we could resolve short of having to have the court intervention.
Okay. I mean, these things like the disciplinary hearing dispositions and things, those are just in there because maybe somebody might need to refresh their recollection about them or something. I mean,
Yes, Your Honor, these aren't things we intend to introduce, especially if Mr. Bennett is not going to testify. If he ends up, then that'll be a different story for a different day. But
all right, well, the defense, y'all have had this evidence in this format under these witness folders for a while now. So it's also incumbent upon y'all to take a look at it and be prepared to say, well, there's absolutely no way evidentially that XYZ should come in if that's what you think. But yeah, it would be helpful for us to not have to litigate stuff that the state doesn't really intend to put in to.
Your Honor, I would.
Yeah.
So there's a surveillance video, as you know, and then a body camera, the law enforcement comes in thereafter. Anything outside of that at this point, I would be objecting to. It's my strong memory that Mr. Bennett did not make any statements to law enforcement. If he did, it's confrontation clause if he doesn't testify. So anything other than those two items, I would be objecting, if that helps.
All right, so Miss Hilton, take a look, and if you think there are some statements that are shown on any of that body cam of Mr. Bennett that you believe come in as, a cited utterance or present sense impression, then, and you intend to introduce them, then you can maybe call that to our attention and we can make a decision on that. Okay. Where are we now? All right, have we already? Okay. So if the defense, y'all kind of seem to be, I don't know if y'all are, I don't want us to be doing a real-time evaluation of this amount of evidence. If we're ready to litigate these things, great. But if we're not, y'all just let me know that.
I've reviewed the wiretap from Mr. Sumlin, but I have not reviewed specifically what the state has pulled out, so I need to do that.
Okay. Is that kind of true for everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Could I ask one question?
Yes.
In this folder that appears to be a bunch of audio files, the first folder under Sumlin, am I correct in my belief that that is all the calls from the wiretap that you all seek to introduce at this time?
No, so these are the calls from the wiretap, primarily looking at the ones that we identified for the co-conspirator statement. So some of these will probably be reduced by the co-conspirator statements once we reduce those as well. But this is just a duplicate of that folder.
Understood. So it may shrink.
Yes, yes. And we would have identified all the Sumlin calls once we finish with the co-conspirator analysis.
When are you going to finish that?
That's what we're working on, that the court asks us to have a reduced list by next week.
Okay. So do y'all maybe want to take today to work together and or separately on a whole lot more of this stuff? Okay.
Yes, I think that would be beneficial, Your Honor, and
All right.
productive.
All right. So I don't want y'all to leave and go home and do something else. I want y'all to stay here and work. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Stay in the
So,
courtroom, or can we stay in our office and work?
you know, I mean, whatever is easier. If it's easier to sit here together and say, you know, things like you've been saying. So, hey, I'm looking at this. Is this what it is? And is this going to be the entirety of it? Or are you going to narrow it down? Or what are the timestamps? I mean, it might be a good idea to just sort of, and the defendants can go back, but the attorneys sort of, you know, review evidence together. Yes.
Maybe my colleagues are going to throw some tomatoes at me, but if the defense attorneys could maybe take a certain amount of time in our little side office and go through, and then maybe either all of us or some representatives could meet with the state at some point today and discuss where we're at. But as I understand it, the information that we would be reviewing on our own would be the contents of this Dropbox minus the wiretap stuff.
Yes, that's fair. Yes.
And we're not going to watch as a group that all the Axon folders. We're going to wait for you all to give us direction on the timestamps on the body cam stuff.
Yes.
All right. And I don't mean just this folder. I mean folders, you know, whatever this is, 52 through 103.
I meant the Dropbox.
Yes.
The entire Dropbox.
Okay. Yeah. And to the extent, I mean, we didn't have the Dropbox for 31 through 60 up yesterday when we were walking through those witnesses. We were doing something more general than that. But when y'all get through all of this through 103, if you want to jump back and just make sure we covered everything on those others, you know, do that as well. But then I think maybe the next time we get together, it'll be more productive. Okay. So I'm going to adjourn us from our trial for the day, and the defendants can be returned unless y'all feel like you need them. But it doesn't, this seems more like attorney work to me. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong.
After consulting with my colleagues, I think we are okay. We are fine with if just the attorneys remain and the
Okay.
clients are allowed to return.
Okay.
Back.
All right, so let's do that. And then today's Friday, so we will reconvene, let's say, Monday at 8:45. All right, and y'all spend the day being productive and with your unexpected extra time. All right, you're welcome. And so will we be able to leave?
My bad, y'all. I was laid in the bed. It was a delay on my phone because I thought they were still talking. All right, so that's it for court today. The jury is still out. I found that clip from the witness yesterday. Y'all know I was not on here yesterday. I'm still recovering from a migraine, but I want to listen to it. So let me see.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm a little nervous.
All right. Is there anything we can do to make you a little less nervous?
Not really.
All right. Ms. Bell, appreciate your honesty. Would you do me a favor and set your purse down by your side?
Yes, I can.
And I'm standing over here. Would you direct your communication to the jury over here? They need to hear what you're saying, and you need to talk loudly and into the microphone if you can.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Bell, would you tell the jury where you're from originally?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. Do you have family that lives in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yes.
Have you lived in Atlanta all your life?
Yes.
All right. Do you have sisters and brothers?
Yes.
How many?
I'll say 5.
All right.
Other than me.
All right. And one of them, does one of them live at 1428 Adele Avenue?
Yes.
Have you ever lived at 1428 Adele Avenue?
Yes.
And is that in Fulton County?
Yes.
How long did you or has your family, you and your sister, you or your sister lived at 1428 Adele Avenue?
I mean, she may have been there 25 years and I was like maybe 13 years.
She's been there 25 and you 13?
Yes.
How'd you come to live at 1428 Adele Avenue?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Some kind of way I had to move from where I was
Mhm.
living at, and I asked her, can I come
All
live
right.
with her?
Okay.
And she said yes.
Is this sister of yours older or younger than you?
She's younger than me.
Would you describe for the jury what kind of structure, 1428 Adele Avenue, what kind of house does your sister have?
It's a nice family home. Nice family home.
Is it a condo, townhome, or a standalone?
It's a home.
Standalone house,
Right.
single family?
Yes.
All right. Is it brick, siding, something else?
Brick.
All right. How many levels does your sister's house have?
I'm gonna say 3.
And when you walk into the door, just from outside, which level do you enter?
You enter on the 2nd level.
Okay. And do you or your sister sleep on?
Different levels, yes.
Okay. Would you describe for the jury or tell the jury, I'm sorry, who all on April 28, 2015 lived at that house?
It had to be my sister,
Mhm.
one her daughter,
Okay,
and me.
and you. Would you tell the jury a little about yourself? Do you have children?
Yes,
How old are they?
my oldest will be 48 in next week, and
Okay.
my baby is 47.
Did either of your kids live at 1428 Adele Avenue?
No,
In April?
No.
All right. Your sister, how many kids does your sister have?
she has 4.
All right. Would you tell the jury first the name and then the age of the 4 children that your sister have?
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to relevance.
Your Honor, this is the address that the jury
But the
just
age
heard
of
about.
the Age of the children.
I can approach as to why I'm doing it that way, but I have a reason and it is relevant.
All right, I'll give you some leeway.
Thank you. Would you tell the jury the name and age of your sister's 4 children?
I think the twins, which is Diamond and Daryl, maybe 27 now,
And that would have made them, what, 18 in
I
2015?
suppose.
Okay. And what's your sister's oldest child's name?
Stacy Adams, and she's 40.
She's 40. So she would have been, would she have been 31 in April of 2015?
I'm thinking yes.
Does your sister have a son, Philip Collins?
Yes,
Does Philip Collins go by the name Philo?
yes,
And would Philip Collins have been around 25 in April 2015?
I will say so.
Did your other siblings have children? Did your other sisters and brothers, did you
Yes.
have other nieces and nephews?
Yes, I do.
All right. Did any of those other nieces and nephews at any time during April 2015 live at the house with you and your sister?
No,
Did your sister's children, the 4 you just named, Philo, Darren, Diamond, and Stacy, did either of them live at the house besides Diamond in April 2015?
no.
Did they visit the house regularly?
Well, they come by because they want to eat, and I cook a lot for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's delicious.
Would you describe for the jury the area of Atlanta that, let me be more specific. Do you know where the Atlanta University Center is?
Yes,
All right. Is 1428 Adele Avenue down the street from Morris Brown College?
I wouldn't exactly say down the street, but it's not far
Okay.
from the home.
And is it also close to Spelman, Morehouse, Clark?
Yes,
All right. And also, please describe in the best way that you can the neighborhood that 1428 Adele Avenue is.
it's a wonderful neighborhood to raise your kids in. It's a wonderful neighborhood. It was not, we felt no danger or anything. It's a nice neighborhood.
Is it mostly houses like the one you and your sister lived
I'm
in?
going to object as to relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Does the house itself sit off of Adele Avenue, or is it in a subdivision?
Well, it's just a street with houses,
How often did your sister's children, either Philo, Darren, or Stacy, visit?
Well,
Objection as to relevance.
There's, Your Honor, I am asking,
Sustained.
Okay.
Asked and answered.
out of all your nieces and nephews, did you have any other nephew who was 18 in April of 2015?
no,
Okay. And did any of your other nieces and nephews visit your home at 1428 Adele Avenue as often as Cecilia's children did?
no.
Would Cecilia's children visit at least once a week?
Yeah.
All right.
Leading.
But
I was
I'm
trying to be,
seeing the relevance of this right now. So you said you would get to it.
we are. Okay, thank you, Judge. Ms. Bell, do you remember April 27th and 28th of 2015?
Yes,
Why do you remember that date range?
That was the day that I was shot.
Could you lean into your mic and speak a little louder for this jury?
That
they
was
hear
the
you?
day that I was shot.
All right. On that particular day, do you remember what day of the week it was?
I want to say a Monday.
Okay.
It was started Monday but it probably ended up Tuesday morning.
All right. And did the day involve anything of note before you got shot? Did anything happen?
No, everything was fine.
All right. Do you remember who all was at the house that Monday?
I'm gonna say, I guess, it's me, Cecilia, and her daughter.
All right. Did you all have any kind of concerns for your safety that day?
Not at all.
All right. Do you remember about what time you turned in for the evening?
Well, I usually go to bed kind of late.
What's late for you?
I'm gonna say 12:30,
Okay.
somewhere like that.
And was that particular night any different than any other? Did you go to bed about 12:30?
Yes.
All right. Were any of your nieces or nephews visiting at that time that you went to bed?
No.
Would you describe for the jury where inside the house your bedroom was?
I'm gonna say, like from this desk to that door.
The door at the back of the courtroom?
Yeah, that door.
All right. And so would the door represent the front door of the house?
No.
All right. What does the door represent as far as the house goes?
This would represent the front door. This would be the front door.
Okay. And so with where you are being the front door, the back door is your room?
I want to say, no, not the back door.
No, I mean the back
door-
door of the courtroom.
Yes.
All right. Was there a straight shot from your room to the front door?
Yes.
Did anybody else stay or sleep on that same level with you?
I think her daughter.
All right. And where did your sister sleep?
She slept upstairs.
Okay. Now, at the time you went to bed, describe from the time you went to bed to the time you remember something happening.
Well, we really didn't do anything, but sometimes we sit up and talk, stuff like that. But we really didn't do anything. I might have had a drink or two before we went to bed, but other than that, other than that.
What was your drink of choice?
Vodka.
All right. Did you have it in the kitchen or did you have it in your room?
I had it in my room.
All right. Was it next to your bed?
Yes.
On the floor?
Yes.
All right. So tell the jury, once you went to bed, if you got up at any point before 6 a.m. What do you remember happening from the time you went to bed?
Oh, well, the time I went to bed, anything really happened.
Okay.
Until the doorbell rang.
All right. When the doorbell rang, what'd you do?
I answered the door.
Do you remember about how many people were at the door?
No, I don't.
Was it family or strangers that were at the door?
Well, I would say family because I wouldn't open the door at 3 o'clock in the morning for a stranger.
Fair enough. Was your sister's 18-year-old son one of the people that was at the door?
It had to be a sibling, yes. Yes, it was.
Okay. And were the other people with your nephew older, younger, or around the same age?
Okay. I don't know them. Didn't know them.
I
didn't even see them.
Okay.
Your Honor, excuse me, I'm sorry. Could I have the witness pull the microphone a little bit closer, please?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your Honor, actually,
Problem is it doesn't move, it's stuck to
Maybe I need to move a little closer. Okay.
I think that this one has.
Can you repeat? Can she repeat that last answer once we've got the mic fixed? Try the one on the, well, that one's plugged in. Does anybody have a mic they can donate for a minute?
I'll give her mine. I can talk loud. I'll give her mine. If that's okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Ms. Bell, I'm gonna give you my microphone, and if you could just lean into my microphone, and I'll move these back just so we don't have feedback.
All right, why don't you push that mic down towards your mouth?
I'm a light speaker. I used to didn't be, but I am now.
All right, and ask that last question so they can hear the answer.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Bell, when you heard the doorbell ring at 3:30 in the morning, and you said your 18-year-old nephew came in, did you see the people who were with your nephew? Not recognizing, just did you see anybody else with him?
It may have been, but I didn't pay any attention because once I opened the door and it was somebody that I recognized, I just walked away. I walked away from the door. I didn't really pay any attention. I just walked. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really pay any attention.
Did the demeanor of your 18-year-old nephew or any of the people who were coming in cause you any concern?
No,
Did they, were they being loud or rowdy or anything like that?
no,
Did they in any way appear angry?
no.
Do you know, or did you recognize what they did once you let them in the house?
No,
Now, do you like guns?
no,
Do you make it known to your nephews and nieces you don't like guns?
yes,
Do they respect you enough to respect the fact that you don't like guns?
yes.
All right. So on this day, if it's 3:30 in the morning, was the previous day the Monday, or are we now in a Monday?
The previous day was Monday.
So if it's this 3:30 Tuesday morning,
Yes,
did you see any guns in the hands of anybody that you let in the house at 3:30?
No.
Do you remember what anybody was wearing?
no,
Was there any room on the level that they came into that you saw them go in the direction of?
I didn't pay any attention.
Tell the jury what you did once you let them in the house.
I went back to my bedroom.
How far was your bedroom from where you parted ways with them?
Oh, I guess a few feet.
Did you hear anything from them, like anything?
Nothing.
Were you close enough to have heard if they've been arguing or anything?
No,
Were you close enough if they had been arguing to have heard it?
I would have heard it.
All right. Tell the jury once you got back to your room what you did.
I stepped in my room, and by my alcohol being next to my bed, I figured I'd take a drink, but I didn't get a chance to do that
Why?
because gunfire rang out. And by then, I was hit.
Your voice dropped.
I was hit.
What did you say right before you were hit?
I picked up the ball, and then I put it back down because I was hit.
Did you hear anything before you were hit?
I just probably heard a gunfire, but nothing else.
When you say you were hit, what do you mean?
I was hit by a bullet. I was shot. I just said I was hit instead of shot.
Did you immediately know you had been shot?
Yes.
What happened? How did you feel it? Tell the jury what that was.
Well, actually, I didn't really feel any pain at that time. I was very scared, and I looked into my hallway, which is right my bedroom, the hallway right at my bedroom. So when I turned my back and looked around, the police was already there.
Do you have any idea how long it took you to gather yourself and look around and see the police?
I really didn't have any time.
Did you see when you realized you've been shot, were you able to see if there were any holes in the house for a bullet to have come through? Like, did you see where it came through?
It came through my wall.
Through your what?
My wall.
Do you remember how many shots you heard?
No, I don't.
Did you hear more than one?
Yes.
Do you remember what they sounded like?
It was very loud.
Do you remember whether they were fast?
Fast.
You being way more dignified than me, probably when you was or something different.
I really don't remember.
What do you recall doing after you looked around and saw the police officer in the house?
I just stood there by the bed.
By the bed?
I stood by the bed. I never sit down or anything. I just stood there.
Was the police officer inside your bedroom when you looked?
No, he wasn't in my bedroom. He was in the hallway.
Do you recall saying anything?
No, I didn't say anything to him.
Do you remember who all was in the house at that moment where you noticed the police was in the house?
No,
Did you have any idea where your nephew and your nephew's friends were?
no.
What about your sister?
She actually didn't even really see anything or hear anything.
Without talking about what you had seen or heard, I mean, where she was.
Oh, she was upstairs in her bedroom asleep.
Did she come down at any point and join you in your
No,
bedroom?
no.
Did you see her interacting with the police?
I don't recall. I didn't see that.
Tell the jury the next things you remember happening.
I remember the ambulance came and they put me on the gurney.
Okay.
And they prepped me as they taking me out the house. Once I was in the ambulance, I really did not know how serious the injuries were. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't really feel any pain until I was operated on. The pain was so excruciating that I wouldn't wish it on nobody.
Were you in the hospital one more time?
I might have been in the hospital maybe a month and a half.
Ms. Bell, would you tell the jury if your neighborhood that you lived in on 1428 Adele Avenue was a neighborhood where younger, or you noticed your neighbors were?
No younger people. No younger people. Most of the residents there were older people. They had already been there for many years.
40 or older, 30 or older?
They was older than that.
Did you notice whether any of them had kids that came often that you saw?
No.
Ms. Bell, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 5KK, and forgive me for not knowing the military. Kilo, 5 kilo, through 9 kilo, and a copy Mr. Brown is providing to the defense for them to look at while you're taking a look at 5 kilo through 9 kilo. And just tell me if you recognize the area depicted in these photographs. Looking starting at 5 kilo right here. Do you see 1428 Adele Avenue?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate representation in 5 kilo of what you and your sister's home look like
Yes.
in 2015?
Yes.
What about 6 kilo? Are you able to see the house in that?
Yes.
Is that too a fair and accurate representation of what the house looked like
Yes.
in 2015? Looking at 7, 8, and 9 kilo. Do you see 1428 Adele Avenue in each of these photographs?
Not in this one.
Okay. And this one is 8 kilo?
Yes.
All right. What about 7 kilo? Do you see y'all's house in that?
Yes.
Does it look like it did in 2015 and 8?
Yes.
What about in 9 kilo?
Yes.
Now, do you see Adele Avenue in 8 kilo?
No.
So. Would 5, 6, 7, and 9 kilo aid you in more clearly telling and testifying to the jury about where things were, like your room and the holes or whatever you saw in the house were located on April 28th?
Ask me that again. I understand you.
I'm sorry. All right. Do you see anything different about the house at 1428 Adele Avenue in these pictures than the way the house looked in April 2015?
No.
Your Honor, state tenders 5 kilo, 6, 7, and 9 kilo as evidence.
All right, admitted without objection.
Ms. Nye, are you able to help us publish? Okay. Starting with the court's permission now publish 5
Nay.
kilo. And this bill is gonna come up on screen, running in one time. And just gonna-
Okay.
And we just don't use 5.
All right.
Once we blow it up, do you see where that arrow is in 5 kilo? If we could blow it up a little bit more. All right. And would you describe for the jury which of these houses is 1428 Adele Avenue after we get gray box out of the screen?
The one with the cars in the driveway.
And would you tell the jury, are you able to describe for the jury where the front door of the house is?
The front door would be right there where those bushes.
We put the arrow over the bush.
That's the front door.
And is that the door or the different door that you answered at 3:30?
That's the door.
And does that door face Adele Avenue?
Yes.
In relation to that door, would you describe which side of the house your room was on?
Straight.
Straight
through.
back?
Yes.
Were you ever able to see how many bullet holes ended up being in y'all's house that day?
I wouldn't say I seen it that day.
I mean, later on, were you able to see how many bullet holes?
Yes.
Approximately how many did you see?
I never counted them.
Was it more than 3?
Yes.
Do you know if it got up to as many as 10?
I'm not sure.
Do you know if that house had any bullet holes in it before?
No, ma'am.
that day?
Can I have a tissue?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Ms. Bell, had you heard or had you ever experienced gunfire in the, was it 10 years
Yes.
that you lived there before that day?
No.
Did you know, or did you call 911?
No.
Do you have any memory of who, if anyone, called 911 in your house?
No.
Do you even remember talking to anybody
What you mean?
before the ambulance came? Do you remember having any
No.
conversation? The 911 call. And
Dang, even in victim testimony, it take forever to get to where she going. Y'all, for those who are wondering about the Rich Homie Farm funeral details,
does your
it at the top
sister's your
of the live.
nephew, who at the time was 25, at the time in April 2015, did he have a child himself?
Yes.
Did you know the mother of your 25-year-old nephew's child? And by no, I don't mean like had a relationship with her, I mean, did you know who she was?
I may have seen her.
Did she live, did you know where she lived?
No.
Had you ever visited her
No.
house? Do you know if she lived in an apartment house like y'all's or something different?
I'm not sure.
Are you at all familiar with Drew Drive?
Yes.
How are you familiar with Drew Drive?
Well, everybody knows the old Perry home.
It's the old Perry home. And had you ever driven or gone to that area generally?
No.
Do you have any idea how far it was from where you lived on Adel?
No.
Do you know whether your nephew's child's mother lived?
Objection, Your Honor, ask answers. She already said she didn't know.
Overruled as to that.
Do you know whether your 25-year-old nephew's child's mother lived in that area?
No, I didn't know.
When you say you didn't know, are you talking about in 2015?
At that time, no, I didn't.
Do you now know whether she did?
I did after everything happened.
And in April 2015, can you tell the jury today, in April 2015, did your nephew's child mother live on Drew Drive?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you drive at that time?
No.
Did your sister drive?
She drives.
Now, the cars in the driveway of States 5KK, are those, that's not your car? Is
No.
that your car?
No.
All right. Is that your sister's car?
No.
All right. Do you remember what kind of car your sister drove? April 28, 2020.
Pacifica.
Pacifica?
Yes.
Is that a van price for Pacifica
Yeah.
or something? Okay. Do you remember what color it was?
It was like a blue.
Blue?
Yes.
Any idea of whether it was dark, light?
It was like blue.
Okay. Do you know at the time that you were shot, do you know if there were any other cars in your driveway that you remember?
No.
When the ambulance came, do you remember where it was parked when you got in?
No.
Did you ever see any shell casings outside the house?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever see any bullets inside the house?
No.
Are you able to tell the jury where in the house you saw bullet holes? Generally speaking, not necessarily exact places.
I'm gonna say a picture window, we can call a picture window. That's old, but it was a picture window in my bedroom wall.
Do I have, is a picture window like over the sink in the kitchen or something?
No, the picture window, the first window, when,
First one.
at the front door.
Thank you. And did you at all ever see who it was that fired those rounds in y'all's house?
No, I didn't.
Just 1 second. I appreciate you. I'm gonna play for you, Ms. Bell, what's already been admitted as Stacy's exhibit. 4 KK, 4 kilo alpha, And if you could tell me if you recognize the voice of the person speaking first after the option.
And Nancy 911, operator 6587. What's the address of your emergency?
Someone just turned a shot on my house and my auntie got shot.
Okay.
And stopping at 14 seconds in. Do you, without saying any names, do you recognize the voice of the person?
I think that's my niece.
The niece that lived with you?
No.
Okay, a different niece?
Yes.
Whose child was that niece?
Wait, let me take that back. I'm not sure. They sound alike.
All right, we're gonna play a little bit more, okay?
Okay, let me hear it again.
Yes, keep playing.
Okay, what's the address?
1428
1428.
Adele Avenue.
I recognize the voice.
You nod your head, please pause. Is that the niece that lived with you or different?
Niece that lived with me.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Bell. Just 1 minute. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. I thought I was gonna go into the next one, but just real quick for those again, if you want to attend Rich Homie Quan's funeral, the details is at the top. And I had the shit pulled up just now. Give me a second. Because I think one of the viewings are sold out. The tickets are free. But if you want to attend, definitely go ahead and click that link and get you some tickets. Yeah, so the 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. is sold out. The 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is more than 50% sold out. So if you have not gotten your tickets and you want to attend, make sure you get that done. All right. So we're not gonna be on here too much longer. It's a couple things I want to catch up on since I wasn't on live yesterday. Yeah, I ain't even dropped no video yesterday. I didn't do nothing. Let me see. I do feel like that witness may play on the feelings of the jurors, so that can kind of go up in the air just a little bit as far as how much of an impact that would be. I definitely feel like it'll be more impactful for the state than the defense, though. That's just my opinion. Oh, all right. So Hot Boy from Florida has been released. You know, he was fighting a Rico case. And I told y'all when I heard about it, I was like, dang, he was supposed to go to trial this year. Well, they decided to drop the Rico charge against him, and he pled guilty to the conspiracy to engage in a pattern of racketeering activity. I've been trying to get his fucking plea. I haven't, or they haven't posted it yet, but it says, from what I can see, it says, due to the case pleading out, future motions are withdrawn by defense and future hearings in this case are to be canceled. Conditions of probation, fines, and court costs will be paid through probation as a condition of the defendant's probation. But that's about it. I don't see nothing else right now. Let me refresh because this was earlier before court started. And he has been locked up for 3 years. I saw some people saying that he was in the feds. He was not in the feds. Let me see what this one says. Yeah, the deposition of it isn't out yet, so I don't know. I don't know when we'll be able to see that to know exactly the ins and outs. But nevertheless, is yeah, so he's on probation. He better keep his head on the swivel, fooling around with them people. Yeah, that's about it. All right, so that's that with Hot Boy. We went over No Limit Cairo already. The feds picked up his case, so they need to pick up Butter case too. Because hell, they got caught technically with the same type of shit. But we'll see how that play out. Is that it? I think that's it. I think that's really it, y'all. It's Friday. I'm about to try to get my life together. I still got a slight headache. But I got a lot of things going on this weekend. So I'm gonna get up out of here. Gotta go to the nail shop because I broke a nail too. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'll probably be live on Sunday. Just because I wasn't live yesterday. So I'll probably be back on live Sunday. I'll do a couple videos to drop this weekend. But if I'm not live on Sunday, I'll definitely see y'all on Monday because hopefully the jury will be back in session on Monday and we can get back to trial. Tuesday, I will not be live because I will be at Rich Homie Quan's funeral. However, you know, I'll probably post a video or something, but I won't be live Tuesday, just FYI. I don't even know how long the funeral is going to be because I was going to try to do two things while I was in Atlanta, go to the funeral and go to trial. But to my understanding, it's going to be a long day at the funeral, so I probably won't make it to the YSL trial in person. So we'll just catch up on it probably on Wednesday. Okay? So with that being said, y'all have a great weekend. I am out of here. Y'all know I'm trying to get back in the algorithm, so make sure you share, like, run out the comments on all my videos and lives. And y'all know everything I said on this live is my opinion. And y'all know how I feel about my opinion. And like I said throughout the video, that's my opinion. And if you don't like it, guess what? I'm like, fuck yeah. Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot because my slots be filling up fast. Mickey talks, the truth. Okay. I got truth on my mind. I got truth on my mind. I got truth on my mind. Truth on my mind.
Hey, listen, you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Good reporting ass Mickey.
We love you, Mickey.
Mickey talks, the truth.